it certainly is getting hot in here, but I'm not going to take off all my clothes. You're going to be safe. A warm welcome to the 12th of April 2024. My name is James. This is the Asia Channel. Living in China, what is it like? It's not all what you see on the Chinese propaganda channels of the huge buildings and high-speed trains. It can be as sad as this. Now, this video is not all doom and gloom, and yet we are going to go into the Chinese electric vehicles. But are you feeling a little bit hungry before we really delve into what it's like living in China? Well, how about a piece of bread? Still hungry? Hey, no problem at all. For 2 RMB, just 2 RMB, 7 RMB is about $1. You can get a assortment of street food all in a styrofoam box like this. Now, let's get into the Chinese electric vehicles. You know that I'm not a big fan of the EVs. Now, if I did, I think the car that I would buy would be a plug-in hybrid, which means you can charge the electricity at home, you have a gasoline engine, and it can run on battery power as well. But not convinced at the moment, and they're just way too expensive. In China, the biggest company for cars that actually does make a profit out of all the 19 EV manufacturers is BYD. And even in this country, I have seen 1 or 2 now. Haven't seen any charging stations, but I have seen some of the BYDs. But seven of these electric vehicles in China catch fire every single time. It is internal spontaneous combustion. You know what I mean, where it doesn't need anything to spark, it just starts by itself. Now, many of the people who do own a electric vehicle will say, oh, no, the petrol cars ignite more than that. Yeah, but they need an ignition. The EVs, they don't need. Spontaneous combustion is that. It's a long way off to come. Also, with these EVs in the United States, many people in China, they're complaining, saying, why can't we have fair trade? Well, put it like this. A Mercedes that comes into China, a Ford that comes into China, I'm trying to think of a General Motors vehicle that comes into China will have a heavier tax than a Chinese-made car. So why can't the Americans have? For example, if a Tesla costs $50,000 in America, why should a BYD, supposedly of the same specifications and the same safety standards like a Cat 4 or a Cat 5, why should it be cheaper? It's one rule for China and it's another rule for America. Why can't the rule be the same? Yeah, and China does it. So if I wanted a Chinese vehicle, yeah, it would cost me $30,000, let's say, dollars. Okay, fine. I'm in China, buy it. But if I wanted a Toyota or I wanted a BMW, then I would have to pay the luxury tax on that, which may be, I don't know, like 30% extra. They do the same here. The car that I want here is a Toyota what? Yaris Cross. It's just under 40,000 American dollars. If anyone wants to give me that 40,000, then super thanks is down below. Ha ha ha. But how much is it in other countries? I would say it's a lot less. The motorbike I bought here is a Honda 160 ADV. It costs 4,900 something dollars. In the Philippines, in Thailand, I can get this a lot cheaper. The tax is just expensive here on motor vehicles. It is in China. So why can't the Americans charge this tax rate? I think it's fine. It's even trading. It's not making the Chinese vehicles bam in the world. Everything should be equal. So China, listen to that. Huh? Yeah. Boom. Oh, let's do that again. Boom. And something a little bit more interesting. This is not in China. This is in a university somewhere in the United Kingdom, talking about Mao. Mao is the awful dictator from 1949 to until when he died around about 1976, who decided just to make China and how much work China had to do to get out of this. Take a look at this.
And under Mao, 40 million people were starving to death after he sold communism to them, and 20 million people died, murdered during his Cultural Revolution. So my question to you, David, is that can you guarantee me, a gun owner tonight, our government in the U.S., in D.C., will never become a tyrannical government? Can you guarantee that to me?
There's no way I can ever guarantee that any government will not be tyrannical.
Well, then the debate on gun control is over, because I will never give up my guns. Never. And you should go to China to see how gun control works for dictatorship of CCP.
Not so long for today. Hope you enjoyed this different side of regular instead of seeing the news. Yes, I am quoting my point of view. If there are any people who do drive an EV, do tell me about it, but in a constructive way, with constructive criticism. Don't call me an old white guy who doesn't know anything about EVs. I'm just expressing my point of view, and that's it. But we're always open to conversation in a very polite way. Like, subscribe, drink coffee. Down with the CCP. Yes to democracy. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.